Hello, super traders. Welcome back to our New York pre-market session. Right now, we are 3 minutes before the New York session will start, and we have a special guest from us. Han Hong, how are you? I said it right, Han?
Yes, you can just call me Han if you have trouble with the surname. I know. If you're non-Asian, it's very difficult to deal with the
No, I'll get
Southern
used to it.
Mandarin surnames. Yeah, so
But for
you
non,
follow. Yeah, yeah.
but as a non-Asian, we know how cold weather feels like. So, how is the weather in Singapore right now?
Oh well, Yaron, let me tell you, the weather here is really cold. It is really cold and windy, especially in the evenings and in the nights, as it is the monsoon. It's just towards the end of the monsoon season here in Singapore. And normally, the weather is really hot and humid, coming from a tropical nation. But I'm really enjoying this cold weather, and I hope it stays for just a bit longer.
You like it when it's cold?
Yeah,
Oh
you.
yes, I like it when it's cold. In fact, I kind of enjoy going to temperate countries, to get away from the heat here in Singapore once in a while.
Wow, we are different. I like the heat, but
Yes,
okay. If
but you
you're
know,
happy, I'm happy.
I've been so many times in Singapore and I never experienced monsoon. It was just hot and I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. Han, we are very curious. What are we going to talk about today?
All right, here for today, we will talk about we will focus more on the U.S. market and
Okay.
how it has been shaping up as of late. Um, Mondays usually we experience a lot of selling Mondays and Fridays, but yesterday was an exception, and you know why?
Why?
Because during the intraday trading session of the U.S. stock market, the Nasdaq, okay, the Nasdaq 100 briefly hits 5,000,
Wow.
and yes, and
Which is
this
very
this
interesting. I mean, what do you think caused this advance?
Okay, well, there is a market euphoria at the moment, especially with tech stocks. Tech stocks have been performing very well. Also, the advancement in the Nasdaq has been heavily due to Apple and its recent performance. As you know, Apple consists about, the Nasdaq consists about 10% weighted in Apple,
Wow.
and
It's crazy, Han.
several stocks.
When one stocks is 10% from the entire index, it's too dangerous. Of course, we know that Apple has monster profits right now, but imagine yourself the day that Apple will be earnings will be below the consensus. We are going to see a free fall. But you spoke
Yes,
about the
yes.
5,000, which is a perfect round number. It's more than perfect. So,
In fact, during the intraday trading session yesterday, the internet, Twitter, they were all about this magic 5,000 figure. And of course, while on one hand you have traders and investors going upon celebrating and popping champagne, but on the other hand you have skeptics, coming to warn the market and to warn traders about the
Why you're so
overextension
happy?
of the.
because he's speaking about
Sorry.
skeptics, and I'm one of the skeptical because
Yes,
I'm
I
waiting
know.
for the free fall. I think that I was wrong in 1 year. I took a trade on the S&P 500 last year, the beginning of last year, and I lost a lot of money. But this time I'm not going to be wrong. But let's let Han finalize his.
Yeah, all right. Like some of the skeptics have gone to the extent of drawing this parallel to 2000, the year 2000, about 15 years ago. Because it was also during this time where the Nasdaq hit the magic 5,000 figure. And why the year 2000? Why was it significant for trading?
Oh,
2002.
oh, Han, you wouldn't believe how involved I was. You know, I was in the high tech arena, of course, and my company was more than $1 billion, and in just one day, we saw a free fall, and had a lot of troubles um, recruiting more money, or there was a big problem to get more investment into our company. So I was involved both through the financial market, and both and on the same on the same at the same time I was involved also in the high tech arena. Of course, I had my startup company, and in both sides I got punished from the tech bubble. But I can tell you, I can add one more figure, which is very important, and that's why I'm starting to be bearish on the US indexes, and the fact that in 2001 the PE, the S&P PE was multiplied 17.3. This is where the S&P was traded around 2000, around the year 2000, and only now we see the same figures. We see the same multipliers for the S&P PE. Multiply 17.3. This is the multiplier right now, and it is starting to look like a bubble.
All right. Well, well, not to sound the alarm, but the skeptics do have, do have a point, in drawing the parallel between 2000, the year 2000 now. But we just want to remind, our viewers here that, the tech stocks, that formed the Nasdaq 15 years ago, and the tech stocks of today are much different. We have the tech heavyweights companies that are large, that are stable and highly profitable, and also their products and services cater to a global audience. They have consumers from all around
Correct.
the world. So
Correct.
in general, the tech heavyweights of today are generally less prone to the wild swings as we have observed before in the past.
Correct. Absolutely right. Of course, the technology is mature, and we have profits already. We have positive balance sheets, and back then in 2000, we just have the dream. We just had the dream. We didn't see any money that comes into the companies, or the profits were or the margin levels were too tight. If if we had margins, so that's the big difference. You are absolutely right.
Thank you. And I do agree with you. I mean, the outperformance of the Nasdaq is highly on the back, largely due to Apple. And when Apple reports positive earnings, you have chip makers that supply to Apple, as well as chip makers that supply to other smartphones. Their stock price going up as well. So,
Correct.
like as you mentioned, when we have earnings disappointment, these companies that survive on the back of each other, they will come down together, and no doubt this will take the Nasdaq down, as we saw to a small extent when the iPhone 5 from Apple failed to meet the high expectations of consumers and stockholders during its release.
Do you have iPhone 5?
I have iPhone. Oh, I don't want to say. First of all, I don't want to make any commercial, but let's say my phone is not very advanced.
That's why Apple didn't
Only
stand with
because
the
of me.
expectation.
Only because of
him.
me. Yes.
When Hila will buy iPhone 5, believe me, Apple profits will go higher and higher.
If it will happen, never mind. Let's stay in the topic. Yes.
Okay.
Oh yes, the disappointment of the you
Yes.
can't keep on making a product with higher screen, better resolution, you know, better wireless technology. You know, the market tends to get sick of that pretty soon, pretty quick. You have to keep on pumping money into developing, researching, coming out with something new rather than building on existing technology and also consumer trends to follow the trend and build on the trend.
Exactly. And right now we are 1 minute before the New York session is going to start. What is your opinion? What can we expect today that will happen with the US main indexes?
All right. Now, this week marks an important week, as you mentioned earlier, Yaron, that on Friday we had the jobs figures. And I would dare say that part of the market success in this month is largely due to the economic growth that the US is experiencing right now. In fact, there's the strongest increase in employment in 15 years, and unemployment rates have been lowest since the recession. So this means more jobs, okay, which will lead to more consumption, which means more revenues for businesses that supply to the US domestic market. Now, the leading indices have already advanced well ahead of the jobs report. Now, and I'm curious to see whether the jobs figures on Friday will
Yes.
continue the momentum that has been started since the middle of February.
The negative momentum, you mean?
No, it's not.
Actually,
What? It's a very positive momentum for the.
positive
Of
momentum?
course, it's a very positive momentum. Although we saw some negative prints, we are still
We're still
we still have
bullish.
we're still bullish, and we have positive momentum. And yesterday we broke out to fresh new highs. We crossed the 5,000. We crossed the 2,100, and but I agree with you. I think that we are going to see a consolidation, market consolidation, price consolidation before the NFP, and the NFP should generate high volatility. Whether it's to the downside or the upside, we don't know yet. But that would be the main catalyst for the next market action. So I would like to ask you if we have something interesting for today or some actionable selection.
Okay, for day traders and swing traders, timing the market is a very important aspect of trading. In fact, for swing trading, especially, it forms one of the backbones or the golden rules of positioning. So right now, with the market, really extended ahead of a volatile event, most swing traders would already have had positions or maximize their investment in their portfolio. So being able to find safe, conservative trade ideas for momentum trading this week would be quite scarce, I would say. But nonetheless, after doing some scanning and filters on our side, we have identified one of the ETFs that have set up nicely for an opportunity for swing trade. So this ETF is none other than the financials ETF or XLF. Okay, a large majority of the large caps and mid cap companies that form this index have had considerable improvement in their year-on-year earnings. Okay, this includes companies such as banks, asset management companies, insurance firms, credit services, as well as investment brokerages. Now, on the ETF, okay, for the XLF, we are looking at a possible opportunity above the weekly high, which is about 2460. Okay, so it is set up on a nice pivot, and it could provide us with an opportunity this week. Okay,
Okay.
other possible counters, okay, that viewers
It sounds more than enough. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds great. Han, thank you very much for being with us today. You're going to be with us again next week?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Maybe Tuesday or next or this Thursday.
We will talk about it after
This
after
Thursday.
this Thursday. Okay,
Yes.
so just in 2 days we're going to meet again. Thank you very much, Han. We're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to be in the New York session, and of course, we will start to trade. Stay tuned.